All right, let's get this straight. You don't know how to drop fade? Like, or maybe you do know how to drop fade, but it's not really coming out as clean as you want it to. I feel you, bro. I feel you. That's why you can go straight into the video. What's good, y'all? Drew cut it back with another video, man. Today we're gonna do a drop fade tutorial. First things first, y'all do need to set y'all foundation, man. Y'all can't be doing a clean fade if a dude got BBs. How a dude gonna have BBs and you over here trying to give him a crispy, clean fade? It ain't gonna work like that, bro. And if your client got longer hair, make sure you're getting out the way, whether it's hair grippers, hair clips, hair tie, anything that's getting that hair out the way. The last thing that they want is to get some twists or some braids and they shit uneven. All right, so taking my JRL Onyx clippers, I'm setting in my first zero guideline using the corner of my clippers because you don't want to make a straight flat line. What you want to do is you want to curve around the ear. And using the corner of your clipper makes this 10 times easier, all right? So first guideline, about an inch above the ear, and you want to start dropping that line, hence the name drop fade. Now, if you struggle with that drop, then two things that you can look at is the back of the neck. Following that neckline and cutting above it will work most of the time. But if you can't see that neckline for some reason, then you always want to drop the fade going past the ear. Once you get right past the ear, that's when you want to start dropping it. All right, peep game, y'all. You see how I'm using the corner of my clipper? Corner is control, y'all boys. Don't forget that. Using the corner of your clipper helps you see how much you cutting off as well as what you cutting off. Using the full blade, I would recommend for debulking or if you're making straight lines, but take that zero line and bring it all the way around, straighten it out as you get to the back. And what I like to do is once I get to the opposite ear, I like to connect it from the other side. This is to make sure that the fade come out even, because you could take your zero all the way around, but it's gonna be harder to make it even. So make it easier on yourself. Break it down into 2 steps. Start at that C cup. Once you get past that ear, start to drop that line. Now this ain't step 2, this is step 1.5 because you don't really need this if you want to be an average barber. If you want to be the average barber, then you don't need to do this. But if you want to be one of the top barbers, clean all the stubble at the bottom of your fade. It makes your fades come out much, much cleaner. I promise you. Do not take your clipper and try to do this, bro. Take your trimmer. It's going to get closer to the skin, but flip your trimmer so it's not causing as much irritation. All right, so taking my clippers all the way open, I'm going up about 1 inch, following that same shape that I use with that closed guideline. It's very important to use the same guideline, bro. You don't want to start your fade with that curved drop fade shape and then do the rest of the steps with straight lines all the way across. It's not going to come out right. It may come out choppy and you're going to go back, try to fix things. Now, most barbers won't tell you this because this is too much sauce. But the key to a blurry fade is to give yourself room to work with. You see how big I'm making my guidelines? Stretching that fade is what's going to give it that blurry look. This is why I started my zero guideline so low. So now with 2 clicks, taking my lever halfway, I'm going right in between that 0 and that half guideline. Now you don't want to be laying the clipper flat on the head while you're doing this. When you're blending in between lines, you need to be using that flick out motion. That flick out motion is going to be making sure that you're not bringing the fade too high up or higher than it needs to be. As you can see, I'm flicking in between those 2 regions. That clipper halfway should blend out the bottom, but if you do see dark spots, then you can close your clipper and flick right at those dark spots. You don't want to flick past those dark spots because if you do, you're going to bring the whole fade up and it's just going to be a whole reconstruction, bro. So now my clipper is closed. As you can see around the ear, there's not really too many dark spots, but in the back there definitely is. You're gonna find that happen often, that the back is gonna have more darkness than the sides. So look out for that. If you learned anything from this video so far, drop a like for me, man. Y'all went crazy last tutorial, so I'm gonna do more of them. So subscribe if you want to see them. All right, slap your one guard on, put that lever open, going up about another inch. Make sure that you guys are following that drop shape, because if you go straight across, then the back is gonna be way too light. So make sure once you go around the back that you drop in it a little bit so that you're following that shape. Again, guys, once I get to the other side of the fade, I like to connect it from the corner, because I realize with experience that when I go all the way around, sometimes I dig too deep into the corners. And you want to make sure that you're not going too deep into those spots, because they are naturally lighter than the rest of the fade. So you want to keep it a little bit darker so that you still have that drop fade effect. All right, taking that lever and closing it, we're knocking out that bottom line that we see that was created in between the lever open and that one. The beauty about starting with that open is that you can very clearly see where the line is. So you don't want to go past that line. You just want to flick at it with that one close. And if you do see any dark spots, that's okay, because we're going to go back with our half guard after and clean up any dark spots that we see. All right, now taking our half guard, lever halfway, I find that to be the sweet spot. We're knocking out any dark spots that we see now, right where we did that one close at, right where we flicked that line at. We're looking for any dark spots, and we're knocking those out. We flicking right at those spots, though. We're not going past them, because remember, you go past them, you're going to bring everything up, my brody. All right, now I'm taking my one guard open and I'm going with the grain on that part that we did not touch. That's going to give you that little bit of darkness on top without it being too dark or without the hair sticking out, because that one guard open is also going to lay the hair down and blend it smooth into the fade. Now, if you see any dark spots at the top of the fade and the one guard open isn't taking as much as you want it to, then just close it little by little and go over those spots with the grain. And that'll eliminate any dark spots that you see. All right, another great tip for y'all is that you see how I'm not going straight down with my clipper when I'm going with the grain. I'm following the hair growth pattern that's on his head. So his hair right there grows a little bit to the side, so I'm just following the flow of the hair. A lot of times people see that they don't get a smooth fade because they're not going with the pattern of the hair. As long as you follow it, you should be straight, my G. All right, y'all boys, I seen the line at the bottom of my fade. It was kind of giving me OCD, so took my half guard, halfway open, flicking at it again. This is just a little bit of detail work. If the line doesn't quite come out, all you have to do is just close the clipper as needed, or even take that half guard off and just go with that lever open like what I'm doing right now and just flicking at it. And as you can see, it's coming out pretty nice. All right, now I'm taking my level 3 hairspray, applying it to his hairline. This is so that the hairs could lay down, so that it could give him a crispy lineup. Now holding the long hair back, I'm taking my comb and I'm combing down those baby hairs in front. You want to do this every time after you use hairspray so that the hair is fully laid down. All right, this is a great tip right here. For the corners, you don't want to use the one open like how we did on the rest of the fade because the corner is lighter than usual. So we're taking our 1.5, guys. Taking our 1.5 to go with the grain in that area to lighten that spot, but not lighten it too much. That's that sweet spot right here with that 1.5. I also like to flip that 1.5 and go against the grain just to blend it a little bit better in that area. All right, so grabbing my Babyliss trimmers, I'm starting my lineup with the C-cups. You could start along the top, but I find that whenever you do your vertical bars and your C-cups, that it's a little easier to line up the top. You want to use the corner of your clipper whenever you're doing your C-cups to maintain control. And then for that vertical bar, you don't want to line up going straight down. You want to be at a little bit of an angle, kind of going in towards the eyebrow so that it doesn't look like the vertical bars are pushed back, because that's what will happen if you try to go straight down with it. All right, y'all, so once the hairspray is set, I'm about to take my one guard, lever halfway, and I'm about to go with the grain to knock that hair down. Now, I usually do take one open and do it, but the one open wasn't really taking off as much as I wanted it to, so that's why I put the lever halfway. If you do put the lever halfway, you see that it's still too much hair for you, then you could always go down to a one close. But I wouldn't recommend going really past a one close. That's probably the most that you have to do. All right, y'all boys, this is salsa the haircut. Start at the lowest point and then work yourself to the right side, or you can work to the left side, it don't matter. Peep this, I'm not going into them light spots. I see light spots, my brody, but I'm not going into light spots, because if I do that, then I'm gonna be pushing everything up. We don't need pushbacks, bro. We need to keep everything low so that his junk don't look crazy when it's growing back. The best advice that I would give for this is to create an imaginary line in your mind over them light spots so that you're not digging into them. Line up even where there's no hair at. So in them light spots, I'm not really going and touching that dark hair above it. I'm just floating over it as if there was hair there. Doing the same thing to my other vertical bar, lining it up at an angle in towards the eyebrow a little bit so that when you're looking at it straight on, it don't look pushed back in the corners. Hey, by the way, y'all, don't be afraid to move your client's head around to your liking, bro, so that you can see every angle in the mirror. You want to be making sure that you're looking at your mirror a lot, because the mirror don't lie. It ain't never gonna lie. So use it to your liking, move your client's head so you can get them angles. All right, my little homie said he wanted enhancements, so I'm going in, making that imaginary line that I made in my head, and I'm floating over those light spots. You see how I'm not digging into the hairline? I'm kind of going over where there's no hair at, and the pencil does a great job at outlining that. So following that trimmer line, I'm going over with that pencil, not going too heavy, because if you do go too heavy, you may leave too much. It's going to be hard to blend out. So watch that whenever you're doing it. Don't press too hard. Just let the pencil do the work. Also, for those of you that ask what pencil you should use, for darker skinned people, I would recommend using the tan pencil, not the white pencil. The white pencil kind of do too much on them. You really want to use that white tracing pencil on lighter skinned people or Hispanics, that type of skin tone. But black people will use that tan pencil, bro. It's gonna come out way more natural looking, but still give it the pop that you need. So right here, taking my Tomb 45 clutch card, I'm applying enhancements to the corners, using my Temptation spray by Kiss. I find it to be really good. I do recommend using Tomb 45 no drip color enhancement as well if you want to do enhancements. I find those two to be really good. So if you guys want a more in-depth enhancement tutorial, you guys let me know in the comment section. I could do a way more in detail instruction on how to apply enhancements correctly, because a lot of people be overdoing that shit, bro. You don't gotta overdo it, my G. All right, y'all, this is the finished product. Mid drop fade right here on my boy. So if you learn anything from this video, help me out, drop a like. Like I said, y'all did go crazy that last tutorial, bruh. I appreciate y'all, man. So I'm finna do way more of these, help y'all out. For this line right here, the separation in between the fade and the long hair, you want to use a pick to really like kind of blend it in so that it doesn't look like that much of a harsh line. So yeah, that's a little extra gem right there for y'all boys. Hope y'all enjoyed the video, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Subscribe for more videos. See y'all boys.
Hey, come here. Nah, you ain't no bully, nigga. Like, what the fuck? Hop out of car, shoot shit up. You gotta keep that taco talk. I don't really fuck with these niggas for real. I got crew cuts clean on clutch. I don't give a fuck, you better not buck. Move wrong, you get hit up. Yeah, I got your main bitch wanna fuck. I can't fuck no slut. They say, are you going up? Where you going? I say up. I got lean.